Hello everyone, this is Shoas with the Arrowheads Gaming Community. I am back. Sorry for the long delay with another Star Citizen video. I told you my next video, a lot of stuff's happened in Star Citizen. I'm very sorry for the delay. I would like to tell you all that I've been doing very important things, but besides work, mostly the reason for this huge delay in videos has been that I went back to EVE to try it again, and this time it clicked and I've taken off, and basically I've been spending every day in EVE Online. I am very sorry for ignoring you guys and not putting up anything. But I am back, and I am done not taking care of the channel like I'm supposed to be doing, and we will be back with more stuff. Again, thank you all for those who have subscribed and keep watching and have had patience. I know this isn't the greatest channel out there, but we try and we have fun, and I thank you all for keeping subscribed and not leaving me. I am still here, and I will be doing videos. Now, a lot of stuff has happened in Star Citizen. We hit 40 million. A lot of stuff's happened. But I promised you that my next video would be about the economy and how, so far, what information I have, how the economy is actually going to work and how it's going to function, and about the types of ships that you will be using if you are an economy-based pilot, so to speak. So, again, I apologize, and we will begin all of this. I will be doing a separate video for all of the 40 million stretch goal and the new ships and stuff. I will be doing a separate video for that. It'll be really short, but this is the economy video. So, the big thing to understand about Star Citizen is a skill-based game. There are no levels, there's no experience bar, it's all player skill. However, vessels need guns, guns need ammo, ships also need fuel and be able to repair. All of this costs money. So really, the level indicator or whatever you have in Star Citizen, the closest thing you have to it is money. The more money you invest in a vessel, it does not mean you will get more out of it. Sparsely loaded vessels will be able to take on heavier vessels based on pilot skill, but in the end you still have to buy the vessels, you have to buy the fuel, so no matter what, whether you're pirate, explorer, frontiersman, mercenary, doesn't matter what you do in Star Citizen, money will always be a revolving factor, keeping you in the game and keeping you connected to everyone else, even if you don't really think you are. It doesn't matter what role you play, it's all interconnected. It's just how it works. And again, all of this is on paper at the moment, and as I said many times, paper is subject to change. We will have to wait for the full game to come out and to actually have it in our hands to see what kind of effects the economy will take in its final stages. First off, the bare-bone basics on how the economy works. It all comes down to nodes. The term node is used as an abstract term to describe anything that can take something in and then spit something out. Simple nodes combine and work together to make larger clusters of nodes. These nodes become factories and showrooms. So think of a node as the anvil or the forge in World of Warcraft. It takes something in and it spits something out, or the crafting table or whatever. Anything that's a node that receives an item and spits out another item or service with said item is a node, and a bunch of these will work together in order to form more complex factories. What the hell does all this mean? Well, let's break it down very simple. Let's say we have a space station with a repair area and it has an ore processing facility for you miners. This space station would be made up of many smaller nodes, most important, a population node. All factory space stations or showrooms have to have NPC workers to actually perform tasks. A population node would be the equivalent of a living quarters. These workers will need food, water, and raw ore to process to earn their pay. Also, a happy worker is a productive worker. This is where things like contraband booze and the entertainment node, which is the bar, the strip club, whatever, comes into play. The higher worker morale, the faster a facility will pump out exports. The faster exports are pumped out, the more of them there will be, the more of them there are, the price will go down, because the more supply you have, the less demand, therefore price drops. And here's where things get a little different. In any MMO, like WoW or EVE or whatever, whenever you bring minerals in to process at a station, you always get the refined minerals back. However, as what I've seen in Star Citizen, that's not how this is actually going to work. All of these will be companies. You will not bring raw ore to a station and they will refine it and give it back to you. You will sell raw ore to a station and it will be refined and then it will be sold again. So you can either buy it back and then sell it to another station at a profit, or it's this weird system where for the first time in any MMO that I know of, you, the player, will not be getting back what you put in. You go out and you mine copper or whatever, and you give it to the forge to smelt. The NPC miner will take it, and he will sell it on the market. How that system is going to work out and how it works in practice, we'll just have to wait and see, but it seems to be, it's an interesting system. It's something that's new that a lot of MMOs I don't think have really have tried, but it'll be see how it works, and it'll be interesting to see how it works and how players take advantage of it and play around with it. But not only will the station need ore for the process, it'll need equipment and machines to process the ore. The repair station will need spare parts and metals and fuel to refuel the ships. The fuel that you buy from the station to refuel your ship has to be trucked in by someone, either an NPC or a player, which they will buy from them. If all of these supplies are at hand, the station will produce refined ore that can be bought by an NPC or players to be sold at a profit at another station. They will take the material and go further with it, turning it into refined metal, take it to another station, where the refined metal will be turned into missile casings or ship hulls, wires, electronics, and then those things will be taken to another station and made into ships, missiles, guns, and then maybe sometimes taken to another place to be sold, actually on a showroom, or some other places might actually have the showroom in the same facility. You get the picture. The same logic applies to planets and colonies as well. The economy to start off with is NPC managed. Players will be able to take over select stations and hubs upon release, but to do so will require lots of capital, money. This also means a player must dedicate time to managing a major trade hub. It might be a task not suited for more adventurous pilots. The system is very complex, lots of small cogs working together to run a great machine, but it also has its weaknesses. Each cog, if misplaced or tampered with, will hinder the overall economic machine, so to speak. Pirates attacking ore ships means no raw material. No raw material means no hulls or missile casings at the second factory in the chain. No hulls for ships means no ships being made at the third factory in the chain. So the economy will send out a PvE or PvP based mission to eradicate NPC or player pirates or whoever's messing up the economy in the area. If no players answer the call, an NPC will take up the cause and fight for the pirates. This also means that systems can be starved, and I mean literally. A pirate faction can target vessels bringing in food and literally starve out a station, leaving precious materials inside intact for maybe if you want to rob it. Whether or not that will be possible, I'm not sure yet, but you know what, if it's going to be, someone will try it eventually. I don't know whether they'll be able to pull it off, but someone will try it. While it is possible to simply go to another station not in the affected supply chain and buy missiles, if this were to happen to a major ship company, it would produce disastrous results. Not only would prices for vessels skyrocket, but when a ship is destroyed and an insurance claim is put in for it to be replaced, the ship company that's making the vessel must produce a vessel off the line as a replacement. If Origin Jump Works is under siege and production of 300 Eyes has slowed to a crawl, then you'll have to wait for the slow trickle of vessels to catch up to your insurance order, which may take a significant amount of time. There are other factors that will affect production. Unhappy workers may riot, diseases may spread, and quarantines called, food has to be grown, and bad harvests mean less of it to go around. I think you're beginning to get the idea of how the system works. Just to clarify, starving a station will affect that particular station significantly, but the station that refines the metal may receive a shipment from multiple mining stations or similar size and output, and on top of that, each mining station may supply more than one station that turns metal into missile parts and hulls. And while this might be a large and complex chain, it does by no means encompass the galaxy. This chain may only provide products to a system or two, and there'll be dozens, maybe even hundreds of chains like this, some bigger or smaller, all throughout the galaxy, and if one fails, there are plenty of others to pick up the slack. Starving a galaxy or a server of a specific product, like 300 eye vessels, will take a lot of coordination, but someone will try it, and if player bases across all MMOs are have not to be doubted, it will be done at some point. As a side note, in order for colonies or stations to grow, there need to be regular customers and happy workers. Unless these two things are met, a station or colony will not grow. If either of these things are taken away, then a station or colony will die. Also, if you're a player that does buy ore at a mining station I talked about, you don't have to bring it to another station in the specific chain. You are more than free to take it clear across the galaxy to someone who will pay more for it. Now, as far as cargo vessels go, the main, probably bulk cargo transport that everyone will be using in Star Citizen, at least to start off with, is their little one-man fighters. They may not hold a lot, but one-man little fighters full of a little bit of ore to sell on the side, or a few trinkets or goods or whatever, will be very, very common throughout Star Citizen. As far as other cargo vessels, if you're looking for more of a medium cargo hauler, the Freelancer is designed as a long-range cargo hauler. That's what it's meant to do. That's its purpose in life, so that thing's always good. Plus, you can totally fly the Freelancer by itself. It has a nice cargo range. It has a nice range, has a nice cargo capacity. The Constellation will probably be very, very popular as a cargo vessel, and you'll probably see it the most out of all the mid-size vessels. If you have a group of friends, I would totally use the Constellation. However, if you don't, I would go back down to the Freelancer. I can fly the Freelancer alone. That doesn't bother me. Flying the Constellation alone bothers me immensely. I would have to have at least one other friend with me to fly that Constellation in order for me to feel safe. If you're looking for long-haul transports, really long-haul in very, very aggravate space, low security space, or space where there's lots of pirates or whatever, if you're looking for a nice armored truck, I would pick the Aegis Retaliator, to be honest with you. It requires a lot of manpower, but it does have long range right out the box, and it used to be a military vessel, and plus it has a lot of turrets. So if you're looking for an armored cargo truck that'll go very, very long spaces, go with the Retaliator. That being said, if you put fuel canisters on a Comany, it'll go the same distance, or should be. I don't know until we have the actual game in our hands. We'll never know that answer for sure. If you're going in pirate space and you're going short routes, I would probably take the not the Cutlass, I'm sorry, the Caterpillar instead. It seems to be the Caterpillar seems to be more short to mid-flight pirate space kind of vessel, because it can fight on its own, plus it has the 2 turrets, plus the easeable access to cargo hold, so you can get stuff off vessels you've destroyed. It just seems to be the way to go. Now, if you're looking at larger vessels, if you want to be an economy pilot, if you want to live the freighter fantasy to be the ship captain, the freighter captain, then the vessel you're looking at is either the Banu Merchantman or the Starfarer. Now, the Starfarer, again, is a liquid cargo hold, and it's built for carrying fuel. It can carry dry cargo. You can put dry cargo on it, but I wouldn't, because it'll be probably most likely be hanging off the back with no hull to protect it. So that means once your shield goes down, a pirate may be able to just shoot up your cargo. I don't know. I haven't seen what the Starfarer looks like, but if the standard cargo containers go where the tanks go, that means it's just hanging off the back with no hull in between when the shield fails to protect it. So I would use it for fuel or liquid foodstuffs. Again, being a fuel cargo pilot isn't a bad thing. Ships will always need fuel. It will always be running out. It will always be in demand somewhere. It's a nice gig. It may not make that much money. It'd be very slow and cumbersome, but who knows? You could pull it off. And the Banu Merchantman, so far, at this time, seems to be really the big, if you want to be the dry goods hauler, the crate hauler or whatever, this is the vessel for you. I mean, it is the freighter vessel. So far, I haven't seen any faults with it, plus it looks really freaking cool. I mean, that new concept art for it was amazing. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope I covered the economy in a good light. I didn't go too far into detail into it, because I could go on for pages and pages and hours and just a long 45-minute video about all the types, but I think you guys are starting to get to see the point. And to be fair, I don't want to speculate on it too much, because again, until we get the game in our hands and actually can experience it, we won't really know what we can do. We won't really know what's possible, and so that's what I'm really waiting on. All this is paper and theory crafting, and that's all this is. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry for the long hiatus. We will be back with more types of videos, more stuff. We'll be back with more Let's Plays and all kinds of stuff. Sorry for the long hiatus. Eve was taking up a bunch of my time. I will still play a bunch of Eve, but I will be back and doing more videos. Thank you all for keeping watching me and all my videos, and fly safe, everyone.